Okay, now I will be doing some wiring for the I/O ports from the, other earlier videos where I moved the I/O port from the top, put it to the bottom, and I'll be extending the wires. So I bought some paracord. So I'll be sleeving those wires. Those are probably going to be one of the few sets of wires that I'll be sleeving myself on this particular build. Alright, not the whole thing. I did get extensions. They're kind of huge, in my opinion. I don't think I need them this long. But I had a choice. Because if, I know it's kind of hard to see in through the plastic, but it's a supposed to be a like a carbon fiber type design sleeving, and if I would have got the shorter ones, you would have been able to see the wire through the sleeving, and I didn't want that, so I ended up going with the longer ones, 24 inches for the main 24 pin plug. For the graphics cards, the additional 8-pin 12-volt power plug on the motherboard. But the thing is, it's tall as the computer. And this is not even straightened out all the way. So that's going to be a lot of wire. So the one regret is I should have contacted Lutro at LC Customs and sent him off some pictures and work with him on getting extensions made up. That's my mistake because I didn't realize he had set up shop for this. So I also got extensions for the power LED, hard drive LED, the power reset switches. I did get the extensions for the hard drives, the 2 optical drives. Let's see, I think that's it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the extension cables that I got. See how they work out. Power supply. I'm going with the HX850 by Corsair. I'm thinking that this will be more than enough to power this system. The only thing that I'm kind of, not that I'm unsure, but if there is a power issue, it's because it's a crossfire setup, and if need be, I do have an Enermax 1050 watt power supply that I could throw in, but I think that this will be more than enough to handle it. 850 watts. And I've used Corsair power supplies for quite a while now, and they're very reliable. They work great. Okay, the one optical drive that I have right now, yeah, open that up. Okay, this is the from Pioneer. It's the BDR 207 DBKS, and it does come with the Cyberlink Media Suite 8. It is a Blu-ray drive, writer, reader. So this is going to be one of the optical drives. You can put it back. There's not much. The one thing I am going to try and do is I'm going to take off the faceplate as far even off the drawer and give it the same color paint scheme as the case, because the case itself is going to get a custom paint scheme on it. No, sideways. Yeah. There you go. No.
I'm not good at boxing, okay? What are you good at?
Hey. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna, the one thing I didn't, which goes with the motherboard, I'm I'm going with the Corsair Dominator 16 gigabyte. And I got a cooling fan for it. The color accents match the memory. Now the motherboard itself is all black with a little bit of gold here and there, but I figured let the little fan for cooling the memory match the color of the memory itself. So that's going to be that for that. I am replacing the fan because for the Cooler Master V8. Now I've had the V8 on my current system, and it's a phenomenal cooler. The only problem is that this is the second Cooler Master product that I got. I also have an old Cooler Master V10, which is a dual fan assembly, and both Cooler Master products, the V8 that I'm currently have installed in my computer, the fan every now and then gives a fault on boot up. Basically, the fan's not working. So I got to replace the fan on that. That doesn't sit well with me when every now and then you get a fan failure from your CPU cooler. And when I had my old computer that I built back in 2005, over time I put in, because I was having CPU cooling issues, so I threw in the V10 from Cooler Master, and over time, roughly between 6 months to a year, both fans completely failed. And it took me a while to realize, because I didn't have a temperature monitor sensor monitoring the CPU temperature, and after I fixed that problem, within another 8 months the entire system slowly died. So I'm not going to take any chances on this build. Before I install this Cooler Master V8, I'm installing a replacement fan, brand new. Hopefully, you know, that won't cause any problems later on with cooling. Yeah, get that out. Okay, this is going to be the fan controller, and also has 6 temperature probes. So I got to see if I can find a way to extend these, because they're not very long. Same thing with the fan wires. Nah, that I don't need. But the one thing that's nice is they actually give you a little cleaning cloth. I mean, that kind of like, I was like, wow. Usually you only get these when you buy new glasses. No, leave that there. But this is the G-Vans fan controller and temperature monitor. It actually has an alarm built into it as well. So if your preset temperature is above what you want it to be, it'll set off an alarm. I got to look more into the all the settings of it, but if I'm not mistaken, it might even have a way to shut down the system in the event that things get out of hand with heat. And again, it's got 30 watts per channel, 6 channels, so you could daisy chain a couple of fans for each channel if you have a lot of fans. But what I like about it is it's a touch screen, and the features that it has, and there's no name markings on it whatsoever. This will go really nice with the paint, the theme of the computer build. One other thing that I did want to mention before I go on here, I got the Arctic cleaner and purifier. This is something I use all the time, whether it's replacing a CPU cooler or a graphics card cooler, or as this is a new build, installing a brand new CPU cooler. I clean off the CPU heat spreader as well as the bottom of the CPU cooler. I clean it and purify it before I put on any thermal paste, just to be on the safe side, so there's no contaminants when you put everything together. Okay, yeah, get the hard drives.
2 boxes?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the 3 boxes.
Open one, I'll open one.
Okay, let's see, which one is this?
I got
Okay.
this one.
Yeah, that's...
It helps. I've got this
Right.
one.
Alright, this is the... this is going to be the main C drive. It's the Velocity Raptor, 1 terabyte. I haven't opened up the bag. I'm going to leave it closed until it's time to install the hard drive. But I'm sure everybody knows the Velocity Raptor. It's probably one of the most popular hard drives out there.
Okay.
You can put it back. And for backup and storage, right now I got a 2 terabyte Western Digital. It's the RE4 version. Its actual model number is WD 2003 FYYS. 2 terabyte. I'm probably going to get a second one just to put additional storage and backup. So those are going to be the 2 hard drives to start off with. And like I said, I'm going to try and get another one if I can. Alright, I guess that's about it for all the components. I am keeping a... no, I just buried everything. I'm keeping a complete file on everything that I'm buying, what the cost is for everything, and that'll be at the end of the build. But I'm keeping a file of everything as far as cost is concerned. As far as you know, what it's going to cost to get the case modified and so forth, that's going to be basically a guessing game. But that's about it as far as what's going into the system, all the additional extras, mouse, so forth. Okay, I guess that'll end this video here, and we'll get back to working on modding the case. Stay tuned for more. Alright, this is another installment on the video work log for this build that I'm working on. The one thing I didn't show earlier in the other videos, I showed, oh boy, okay, let's try this again. I showed about mixing the JB weld in equal parts with the 2 tubes and applying it, spreading it, so forth. The one thing I didn't show is if you do work with this epoxy, is basically what it is, and you don't have enough, or what you put down, if it's 2 parts that are meeting together and it oozes through a little bit, you will see a little bit of a you'll see where it oozed through, and obviously you're gonna have to add more to it. And I gotta stop you with the ums. Anyway, you're gonna have to add more to it to build up before you can sand down. And if you can, you could see in the video here, there's a little bit of a lip because of the piece that I cut out from the top, as shown in the other video, and move the USB I/O port down to the front here. And because it's I didn't make it flush with the outside of the case. It's actually raised up. I have to add a little bit more JB Weld here because you could see the actual piece, even though it is covered with some JB Weld. So I'm going to add a little bit more, but the one thing I didn't show is this is let me zoom out here a little bit. This is some sandpaper. Basically, I gotta learn not to kick the camera either. This is from my neighbor who does the auto body work and auto restoration, and it's basically, from what he told me, it's basically a belt sander. I guess he cut a couple of pieces and he had it out in the garage, and he gave me a piece of it, and it's a very heavy duty sandpaper. It looks like it's an 80 grit, but it's great for this. It works extremely well. But the one thing you do want to do is you want to roughen this up. Not so much sand it down. You just want to give it a little bit of a rough edge, because that's what's going to help the additional layers that you put on here to hold. It needs something to grab onto. So basically, you don't want to do it a lot, just a little bit. That's about it. Hold on, be right back. As you can see, I'm not the expert at this stuff here. Some of this, I should have had this all prepped. But basically all I did is I got some paper towel and wet it down a little bit. You could have a vacuum cleaner at handy to vacuum up any, if you're doing it inside, or if you have a air compressor, blow off the air. But get rid of the excess, what do you want to call it, shavings, what you sanded off. You want to get rid of that. You don't want that there, because obviously if it's there, the any additional JB Weld epoxy you put on is not going to hold properly. So basically I'm just sanding it down just a little bit, give it a little bit of a rough edge, because I want to build this up. Wet towel grabs it, picks it up real nice, and then just dry it off. Basically, the reason why I want to build this up is once it's finished and I sand it down, I don't want to see, you know, a ledge that comes down and straight down. I want it to be a nice smooth transition between this piece here and the actual shell of the case. So that's what I'm going to be doing now for this short little bit of video, and then I'll see where I have to go next, you know, where is my next step, and get it on video. Hopefully I get better as time goes by. Okay, that's it for this portion.